There are a lot of broccoli pasta salads out there. Today, we are going to be making one with a lot of big flavor, but a quite small ingredient list. I'm going to show you 3 techniques for how to get the most out of this 1-star ingredient. The only ingredients you'll need are chives, broccoli, bow tie pasta, and pepper jack cheese, plus big little staples, oil, and salt. So our first step is blanching chives for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 15. Okay. So now we can get them out. I'm just using a little spider. Tongs would work well too. I'm just gonna leave this water on low because we are going to be using it again, and then we are going to use it again. So it's gonna come in handy. Now I'm just gonna dry off my chives. So we blanched the chives to preserve their color. Now we are going to be blending them with 3/4 cup of a neutral oil. I'm using grapeseed, you could use canola, whatever you have around. And this chive oil is going to serve as like the dressing for our pasta salad. It is like really, it's a gorgeous green color, but it also has this lovely savoriness that makes the whole salad taste amazing. So this has been going for like, I don't know, what do you think? A minute? A minute-ish? I feel like it's close. It's starting to look less like chives and oil and more like chive oil. But I think a little patience is going to reward us. So I'm just gonna scrape down some of these stragglers. And then we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep blending for a little longer. When you look in at the bottom, it looks like the prettiest green juice you've ever seen. You see how emerald that is? So now we're ready to strain. So some chive oil recipes, they will call for a coffee filter to try to get like as much of that, like those cloudy solids out as possible. I actually don't find that necessary, especially for something like a pasta salad. So once all of our oil is in the sieve, we're just gonna let it leisurely strain and hang out. And now we can turn our attention to the broccoli. So now that we've peeled away the tough outer exterior of the stalk, we have 2 options. So the first is taking a vegetable peeler and just shaving it into ribbons. They're all gonna kind of look a little bit different, which is nice. But something kind of like this. And I'm just gonna throw these in the bowl where we're gonna have our pasta salad. The second option is using your knife. So creating planks and then cutting these planks into like bite-sized pieces. Something like this. So these are all different sizes. In this case, that's actually a good thing. A lot of recipes will tell you to cut vegetables evenly, often so they cook evenly, but we are not cooking the stalks. We're actually just gonna salt them and let them hang out. This softens them, pulls out their water a little bit, which will contribute great flavor to the dressing. And I really like that when you get bites of the stalks, you're getting these different sizes and different textures. It's really fun. I'm chopping the broccoli into florets. Half of these we are going to roast in the oven at 425, and the other half we're gonna quickly blanch in that same boiling water we already used. So the oven roasted broccoli is going to be really crispy and browned, and it kind of reminds me of like potato chips in its salty goodness. And the blanched broccoli is going to be really, really bright green and beautiful and crisp tender. We're blanching these for like 2-ish minutes. Really, really quick, just enough time to perk up the color, get them slightly tender. And in that time, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more few ingredient recipes. Should I do it again? So the best way to see if they're ready is just give it a quick check. So I'm gonna So for blanching vegetables, some people will transfer them to an ice bath, but if you just cook it slightly less than you want, you don't have to do that. You can just spread it out completely on a surface so none of them are sitting on top of each other, and they're gonna end up perfect. See how pretty they are? See how green? So we are using this water one more time for the pasta. It's nice because the chives went in it, the broccoli went in it. You can see it's bright green and has all this awesome flavor that the pasta is gonna happily soak up. I am using bow tie noodles here. Just think they look really cute, but you could swap in whatever short shape you like. You could do penne, you could do fusilli. Let me know in the comments what kind of shape you would like to use in this recipe. So I have 4 ounces of pepper jack cheese here. I love like Monterey Jack and pepper jack because they're like just like I don't know, it like has a melty vibe even when it's not melting, if that makes sense. Sort of like American cheese, it's very milky. And the peppers are really nice here because it sneaks in a little bit of heat and some chilies without having to add an extra ingredient. But if spices aren't your thing, just use a Monterey Jack or another mild cheese that you like. And I'm just cutting it into like teeny tiny cubes. So it's time to check a noodle. Now, in just about every other pasta recipe, I would be telling you to cook it to al dente. But here, we want to go a little bit past al dente. We're gonna let it keep going. If you were eating the pasta hot, you would want it cooked to a certain point, but we're gonna be cooling it down with cold water. Maybe you're gonna be sticking in the fridge and eating it later tonight or tomorrow. When it cools down, that pasta that you thought was perfectly cooked is gonna start to stiffen up. So if we make it a little more tender than we want, when it stiffens up, it's actually gonna be perfect. So we're just gonna give it its sweet time. We're not gonna rush it. So our chive oil is totally strained. We have this chive mush. A lot of recipes would tell you to toss this. We're not gonna do that though. It has a ton of awesome flavor. We're just gonna add into the pasta salad, toss it through. It's gonna be delicious. You wanna see what it looks like? It's really funny. Beautiful, right? Chive mush. You'll have like 3/4 cup of oil. We're not gonna add 3/4 cup of oil. We're gonna use maybe like 1/4, give or take, whatever you're feeling. The rest you can just stick in the fridge. It'll be good for like at least a week. You can put it on absolutely everything. It is so delicious. Let me know in the comments how you would use your extra. Now I'm just gonna give a quick toss to incorporate the chive mush and the chive oil. Perfect. And now we can add our cubed pepper jack, the blanched broccoli. So I like to do the roasted broccoli on top because it is quite crispy. So if you're serving it at room temp, I love having those crunchy pieces kind of sticking up. Now that most of our components are together, I'm gonna give it a taste. It's pretty good. But I think I want more salt. You knew it was gonna happen. Just a little bit. When you get a bite of cheese, it's really nice. But I'm thinking about when I don't happen to get a cube of cheese.
I didn't get a cube of cheese, but I'm so happy.
It's seasoned? Okay. Okay, so now we are going to add in the last of our triple broccoli, our roasted broccoli. Okay. And I'll just do I'm gonna do half a toss. So most of it stays on top and the rest of it can kind of hang out with its other broccoli friends. And that's it. Now we can eat. This is our triple broccoli salad. It has so much flavor even though we started with such a small ingredient list. Come back next week for another big little recipe and I'll see you then.